We got us a corpse and cartridge occasion.
This is actually really important. MoistCritical is one of the biggest content creators on YouTube right now. What they say about Tekken 8 is very important.
Do you see the new Kazuya trailer? Fucking badass. I did. It was very badass. I am so hyped for Tekken 8. I am very optimistic for this. Are you gonna get into Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 both as player and esports for Team Moist? Yeah, that's the plan.
Oh, did y'all hear that? Whoa, bro! I had to run it back just to make sure I heard that. Okay, you guys probably don't know who MoistCritical is, right? Charlie. You probably have no clue. One of the biggest content creators. Also, this person is very heavily invested into the Smash community. They have their own Smash team. Ludwig is another big content creator. They just partnered up with them, so now they both co-own it.
Oh, you're talking about the CEO Championship belt where we took first place in the Smash Major back in October of 2021.
How do you keep doing that?
Oh, winning? Yeah. Hard work, perseverance, life, liberty, pursuit of dubs, the whole nine. Just champions over here.
Okay, I get it. Moist is super successful. You don't have any crypto sponsors, but don't you have to burn a lot of money to win that much?
Didn't Susan give you a lot of money to burn?
Their Smash team is huge. Their Smash team, like, actually be putting in work, actually be winning tournament. What he just said, what I just was like, oh my God about, he just said that for Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8, he wants to put together teams for those games. So that means someone's going to get a sponsorship. Who knows? It might be Bilal.
I wouldn't even say I'm shit at Tekken either. So Tekken, I feel like I'll come in and do decent. Street Fighter, I am truly dog shit. So that's going to be coming from ground zero. One button Eddie spam. It was never one button Eddie spam. It was tactical Eddie mix-ups.
He's talking about Eddie. Someone in the chat said one button Eddie spam. That's how you know Eddie is just like a unga bunga character.
Eddie's good though. I don't think so. A couple months ago they did a patch, little balancing changes, and Eddie got a little bit of love, but he is still unanimously considered the worst character in Tekken 7. So no, Eddie's not very good. That's not true. What the fuck? It is. I've watched quite a bit of Tekken content, trying to get a handle on Tekken 7 tier lists and everything. So I'd have some baseline of going into Tekken 8, even though I don't think it's going to transfer much. And on every single tier list, Eddie was literally the bottom. Here, actually, let me see. Unless there's been a new patch that's come out recently. Despite quite a few buffs, Eddie is still the worst. This was 6 months ago, though, so I don't know if you got a new one.
That's Main Man's video. See, but this is why the main man has to be, like, this is the problem right here with Tekken. This is a perfect disconnect. Main Man Sui is saying that Eddie is the worst character in the game, but that's tournament play. That's a very, very high level of Tekken. That's what you're talking about. 1% of the players feel that way. The 99% of the players will get destroyed by Eddie and they won't even know what hit them. That's the disconnect. And that's why Eddie is low tier, because for 99% of the players, he is an unstoppable god. People can't comprehend what he does. So if you buff him, yeah, he may become tournament viable, which only John Ding cares about playing him in a tournament. For you to make him powerful enough for other people to play him, you're going to have to make him into a monster. And then the people who already lose to him, they're just going to get stumped on even harder. It's a disconnect there, but people like Main Man and the top players, they just completely ignore it. Like, you can't make Eddie powerful for the same reason you can't make Yoshi powerful or Lucky Chloe. All of those characters fit in the same pool. If you remove all the DLC characters, Eddie probably has like the 6th or 7th highest win rate in the game, which is extremely high out of like 36 characters. That's high. He lives and dies by a thread. But some people don't even, that's the thing, most players can't even comprehend it. They can't even comprehend, they don't know. And maybe you could blame Tekken for not teaching them, but they don't know. And it's not just Eddie, it's Lucky Chloe's the same, the Bears are exactly the same, Yoshimitsu. There's a bunch of characters. Gigas is another character. You have a low tier character, a very low tier character, but people just don't comprehend or understand the game enough to realize that. And as a result, they get bodied. They get destroyed, you know? And Main Man put her, bro, oh my God, bro. Main Man put this character in like D tier. If you ask me, I think it's Main Man's fault this character isn't nerfed. I think it's Main Man's fault. Main Man has always put this character as the worst character in the game. And why, man? Look at the power of that character. I also think Lucky Chloe should return, but they have to balance the damage. It's the same thing with Kunimitsu. I think both of those characters have potential in the story, but the gameplay is so overwhelmingly obnoxious to where it would destroy anything that they do story-wise. Who's going to care about the awesome story if the gameplay that you deal with every single day is trash? So I think those two characters have real potential, but you gotta make it fair. There's no way those characters, in my opinion, the three most obnoxious characters in the game is Claudio, Lucky Chloe, and Kunimitsu. I don't feel like the matchup is fair. The crazy thing about that, those three characters is the worst in terms of gameplay, but those are some of the most interesting characters in terms of where their story can go. Claudio has an insane story. Lucky Chloe, her story isn't insane. It's very simple, but the setup is excellent. And if they were to push it to the next level, it could be something special. Kunimitsu, same thing. I like Josie. Even though people don't like Josie, I think her gameplay is amazing. So Josie's kind of the opposite of Lucky Chloe and Kunimitsu in my opinion, and Claudio. Her gameplay, in my opinion, is amazing. Some of the best gameplay in Tekken 7. I love fighting against her. But her story is kind of like non-existent. Her personality is like non-existent. So it's like a flip there. But I think she has a lot of potential as well. What even is Josie's story? Josie, she's from the Philippines. In the Tekken universe, the Philippines was hit by a tsunami. And then the Mishima Zaibatsu showed up like Elon Musk handing out Teslas, and they helped rebuild the Philippines. And her being a child, seeing that process of the Mishima Zaibatsu helped them after a natural disaster came through, that inspired her to want to also be like a part of the Mishima Zaibatsu. That's literally her story. She wants to be a part of the Mishima Zaibatsu, and she wants to help people the way that they helped her. And I think that's cool. It's a cool setup because, one, it shows us a different side of the Mishima Zaibatsu. All we see is them destroy and kill. But in her story, we can see that they do actually help people. So it's a good setup. It expands the universe of Tekken. But like I said, they just have to push it to the next step. First off, we don't even know if the Mishima Zaibatsu still exists in Tekken 8. And then two, her version, what she's actually, because that's all like build up. That's all like behind the scenes. That's like her background. But what she's actually doing in Tekken 7, she's basically on her way to the Mishima Zaibatsu. Along the way, she runs into Kuma. There's two variations of the story. One's Josie's ending, one's Kuma's. Basically, the two characters meet. They misunderstand one another, right? She's a girl, he's a bear. They fight. At the end of the fight, it seems like both of them are like sad. Both of them are remorseful. And the game kind of hints that they may team up. If it takes place after Heihachi dies, then maybe Kuma's next chapter will be with Josie, and those two characters will continue. But that's what she's doing currently in Tekken 7. She runs into Kuma. Oh my god, it's a bear. They fight. And then, which also too, this is something that I bring up. We all know how powerful Kuma is. Kuma is Paul Phoenix's rival. They fight and they fought many times, and they're equal power level. So, if Josie beats Kuma up, she's on the same power level as Paul Phoenix. Tekken fans don't like it, but that's what the story shows us. You do have the other possibility of her losing the fight, which if she loses the fight, then she's not on their level. It really just decides what ending they decide to go with. Like the same thing with Bob. Bob and Brian Fury both fight each other, and there's an ending where Bob loses, there's an ending where Bob wins. If Bob wins, that means he's stronger than Brian Fury, which puts him as one of the most powerful characters in Tekken besides the Mishimas. If he loses, then whatever, right? Look how sweaty she is. Oh my